Sarah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Hey guys, Crank here, and today we're doing a video. It's a little different than something that you're used to. We're checking out a car collection here in Central Kentucky. I don't know if you can see behind me there, but yeah, we got an R33, Evo 6, Evo 8, and a Porsche 911 Turbo. So we're going to talk to Michael, and yeah, we'll see what this collection's all about. Be sure to drop a comment if this is the type of video that you like and you want to see some more of this type of stuff. So yeah, let's get this video started. All right guys, so we're here with Michael today, and he's going to be showing us his car collection. Like I said, we're in Central Kentucky, and I've known Michael for, well, just a couple months. I think we met at a like just a car cruise in sort of get together. I saw he had a couple Evos, and I wouldn't say a big Evo guy. I love Evos.
Yeah.
I had an Evo 9. Unfortunately, I had to sell it. But whenever I saw your Evo 6, that's what I was really like, you know, that's cool. I do really like the Evo 6s, the Evo 5s. So yeah, just if you could just tell me a little bit about your Evo 6.
So this is a 99 Evo 6. It's a GSR. I bought this off a fellow in Ohio. He actually imported it from Canada, I believe. It's pretty stock. Like, it's got a stock motor, upgraded turbo. It's on Entron standalone, and it has a bunch of suspension. But otherwise, it's pretty stock. I think it makes around 400 wheel on 93. It's on 24 pounds. It's kind of my, I guess, back road cruiser. I just love driving this thing, and I think it's the most fun car I've ever had. It's my favorite car to ever drive, even though, like, I have other cars that have been faster and everything, but I don't know, just something about these older Evos are just a blast, just kind of the way they feel. Let's see, it's on Advan RG2 wheels, 17 inches, I believe. I mean, there's not much else to it. Like I said, it's pretty stock motor. We're kind of waiting for it to blow up. I have another built motor for it when that day comes, but it seems like it's doing pretty good right now.
And we'll get to this in a little bit in the video, but I did see that you got a new motor in your Evo 8.
Yeah.
I saw that video.
Yeah. That might be a good clip to put in there. I can send it to you.
All right, yeah, no, cool.
It's pretty awful.
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I just blew my engine.
I haven't, not to change subjects, but I blew up an Evo 10 a couple years ago, and I have a very similar video of it too.
Dude, what was that?
Something broke. I don't know what, but something broke.
Dude.
And my car shut off.
Dude, you just shot something out.
And that's actually, before we met, I'm good buddies with Matt down at Savage Detailing. I believe he was telling me about your Evo 10. That was really fast. If
it made about 900 wheel.
Yeah.
And I owned that car for almost 10 years. And I ended up selling it 2 years ago, and I bought an Evo 9. It was a white Evo 9. I had it for about 2 years. That car actually made almost 1,000. I put a sequential in it. And it was on Entron as well. It had a 68 mil turbo. Yeah, I made almost 1,000 wheel. I don't have that car, but then I ended up selling it and picking up the 8 because I just wanted a nicer Evo. And then I bought this one like a month later, kind of by accident.
That's good. I like these type of accidents for sure.
Yeah. I think for future plans on this car, like I said, I have a built 2.3 stroker that I want to put into it eventually and really up the boost, because right now it's probably pushing the stock bottom end of the Evo 6. The Evo 6 motors are known to be a little bit weaker than the Evo 8s and 9s, but that's kind of the future plans. But I don't know. I honestly just love this thing. It's my favorite car out of everything I've ever owned.
I know my 9 was like driving a go-kart.
Yeah, and this is kind of like,
And these
like,
are a little smaller, though, too,
yeah.
right?
So a lot of people ask me that because I've had 8, 9, 6, and a 10. So I've kind of had almost every generation, and I get asked a lot like how they compare. And if you've ever driven an 8 and a 10, and you can kind of feel that difference where like a 10's bigger than an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
This is kind of the same
sort of
difference.
step.
Yeah. So
I
like
gotcha.
this feels quite a bit smaller than an 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And then it's, I don't know. I think these cars in like the back roads and the corners feel a lot better than the 8s and 9s, just because of the way like the seating position. I think it's a little better, and they just feel a lot more nimble. And it's probably the weight, and they do have a little bit shorter wheelbase as well.
Yeah, I do like I think probably the 5.6 will probably be my
Yeah.
favorite without driving it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did like the 9, but
One thing that I think is really cool about this particular car, and it's actually the same for my other Evo 8, is both my Evos are on drive-by-wire. And with this car, what we actually did was it still has the drive-by cable pedal, but it uses a Honda like cable wire sensor. So it has the cable from the OEM pedal that routes to this like Honda sensor, and then it uses an
Oh,
Evo
that's
10.
neat, yeah.
It uses an Evo 10 throttle body. So this car is full drive-by-wire, and it actually has cruise control too. So that's kind of a neat little thing. And that's using the M-tron ECU. M-tron's kind of the ECU I kind of put on everything. One of my really good friends is like an expert with M-tron, so I just kind of lean on him for all the tuning and everything with that.
That's cool. I've never seen that setup before. That's neat.
Yeah, it's not perfect. Like a lot of people on the Evo 8 we actually use a Evo 10 pedal as well. But to mount it, the Evo 10 pedal on the Evo 6 is a lot more complicated because the pedal brackets are like welded to the chassis. So my tuner was like, hey, let's try this. Let's try using the Honda cable sensor. And it works really well. The only thing is the pedal's kind of heavy and weird, but you get used to it. Like after you drive it for a little while, it's not a big deal.
That's cool. You care if I open it up?
Yeah.
It just feels 90s JDM.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't, does that
Small
make sense? Like
light
when you
doors.
open the doors, it's like, yeah, it's 90s JDM for you right there. Like you can just tell.
You see it used on the keypad. I literally just have a keypad for cruise control. Literally a cruise control on button and a cruise control set. I think some of the other buttons do like the cancel and the resume and all that, but it wasn't something I needed.
How is it driving right-hand drive? I've never driven one.
I mean, every button's a little different. I got used to it, I would say, after driving it for a couple weeks. The only thing that kind of gets me sometimes is the blinkers are on the opposite side. So your blinker's on your right side. So what really bothers me the most is if I get in a left-hand drive car and then I'll continually just mess up the blinkers constantly. But otherwise I mean, I honestly really like it. So this is my 95 Nissan Skyline GTR. It is an R33. It's I've only owned this car for about 2 weeks. So I'm still kind of learning this platform. But it's kind of been one of those, I guess, dream cars, so to speak. And I had I had an E36 M3 turbo that a guy offered me a trade on, and I gave him a bunch of money too because this is worth way more. And I couldn't say no just because it just looks it's in such good shape. The paint,
because it is what it is. I mean, it's a R33 GTR.
I mean, I told myself this was probably my next purchase anyways. It just kind of happened a lot sooner than I expected. Just because, I mean, he gave me really good value for my M3 too, so that was kind of part of it as well.
Okay, yeah.
But it's pretty stock. It just, it's on some coilovers. I think they're Blitz coilovers, Advent wheels, and the wheels and coilovers were already on the car when I got it. The only thing I've done in the last 2 weeks is I did a high-kiss delete in the rear because it still had the steering rack in the rear that does the rear steer. I deleted that, and then I obviously got an alignment, and I put different tires on it, and I put a Tomei exhaust on it. Okay. So the last 2 weeks, I mean, I guess that's quite a bit for the last 2 weeks, but that's otherwise the engine's pretty stock. Like it has some intakes. I think it's still on the stock tune. I'm kind of afraid to rip it because it's 30 something years old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome car. It drives really good. It doesn't really have any weird hiccups. I have a lot of plans for the car. It probably won't happen anytime soon because I'm kind of having a lot of other things going on right now. So I'm probably just gonna enjoy it as is. Yeah. So this is my first, I guess, dive into the Skyline world, but it's not my first RB car. I actually used to have a RB26 swapped S14. I only owned that car for a little while because so I traded. It's funny because I actually traded another BMW for that car. It was an E46 M3, and I owned that car for a couple months, and then it ended up dropping a valve. So my first dive into like the RB26 world was not great, but here I am. I'm back again. I mean, one of the things I was really surprised about this car, you know, I've kind of been an Evo fanboy probably for the last 10 years. And, you know, in my opinion, Evo is like the best car ever. But I was actually really surprised like how well this car drove. Like I was expecting it to be kind of floaty, you know, I'm really used to like the fast steering of an Evo, and this car really surprised me. Like I was shocked how well it kind of fills in the corners.
I don't think I've seen the 33. I've seen the 32 and the 34, but this is the first 33 I've seen. Yeah.
I mean, surprisingly, like, I mean, these cars have been legal since, I guess, for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
But they're just...
You just don't see a lot of 33s.
Yeah, they're kind of like the ugly stepchild of like the Skyline world.
Yeah.
I mean, they've always been my favorite, and you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could say the R34 is my favorite, like everyone else does, but like something about the 33, just I've always really liked the S series as well, like the S14s and S15s, and these kind of look like that a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, and to me, these cars are just really good value. Where the R34s are like, you know, $150,000, and these are like half that for almost the same car. I mean, there's some differences like drivetrain and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, the R34s are finally legal, and they're, you know, unobtaining them unless you. I mean,
you can get almost the same car for like half the price. But,
yeah,
I mean, but I don't know. I love the way this car looks. I think I'm probably never going to change anything with exterior. Like I might do different wheels someday, even though I think these Advents work really well with this color.
Has this thing been repainted, or is that?
So I think it has, because it's like almost perfect. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know when, and I don't have any history of the car. It's got some really interesting stuff done to it, because so it has a two-way mechanical rear diff. So it's like very clanky, and I'm like, why would you do that to a stock car? Like it doesn't, but so I don't know the history of it. But it does seem like it's been repainted. I mean, I'm not a body guy or nothing, but I had a body guy look at it. He said, yeah, it looks like it's been repainted, but it's in really good shape. So this car supposedly has like around 100,000 miles on it, and the paint doesn't look like that, but you kind of can tell from like the interior and the engine bay that it does look dated there. Oh, I did put a radio in here too. That was another thing I did. It actually had a really like old, like a Japanese double din that had like a GPS and DVD player.
I would have all their little, like, I don't know, I see the videos of them in Japan. They have to have the right card and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. It actually worked, but I don't know. I needed my radio, and I don't know. I didn't want to try to figure it out, and I ended up buying that radio off of Amazon, and then I learned that you can just use a jumper, like any Nissan 90s jumper harness worked. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of wiring and figuring it out. This engine bay is not great, but it is, like I said, it's pretty stock. It still has the stock boost restrictor pill, I noticed. Let's see.
Yeah, this thing's cool. Yeah, I think it's time for some air filters.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on here. Like I don't know what air filters these are. But eventually this thing's gonna get probably a single turbo.
Yeah.
And probably an M-tron and probably a built 2.8, but it's just, I'm just kind of enjoying
it. You've had it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Just kind of gonna enjoy it in stages, I think. Still kind of trying to learn about them too, like what's the best route to go, like, you know, how these engines work and all that.
Coming in video on this might have been a bad idea for me because, like I said, I'm selling. Well, I have somebody coming to look at my Cadillac tomorrow. And it's gonna be bad. There's some Evo 5s for sale, not
Yeah.
that far from here right now.
There's one in Ohio right now, like in Cincinnati area right now for like an Evo 5 for around low 30s. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, there's one in North Carolina. It's a little more.
Yeah,
For like 36.
that's a little high, but yeah.
But yeah. Sarah, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
All right, so tell me about your Evo 8 here.
So this is a 2004 Evo 8. It actually has a Evo 9 interior, so it's got I think they're the SSL seats. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that.
What was the SSL? What did that stand for again? Sunroof?
Sights, sunroof. It's like a lighting,
leather
maybe, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so
I could be wrong. It might be the MR seats. I'm not really 100% sure. They came with the car when I bought it. So this car actually has a built 2-liter. I actually blew up this car probably 3 months ago.
insert clip here.
I just blew up my car. Yeah, so I mean, I blew up this car. It was making around like probably close to 600 when I blew it up, shot a rod out the front of the block. I ended up buying a used motor from someone, and it was a low mile used motor. It only had a couple passes on it. So it's a built 2-liter. It's got S3 cams, 10-to-1 compression. This car has it has an AGT 5762 turbo that I'm still kind of in the tuning process. It's actually going to my tuner probably in the next week or two, because there's a couple of things that need to be wrapped up on it. And then he's gonna put on the dyno and really turn it up. We've only done some street tuning so far, but it's right now as is. It probably makes around 600 wheel just from street tuning and based on the boost pressure and kind of the fuel usage so far. It's on E85. I think this turbo will probably max out around 650, 700 is my guess. Let's see here. This car is kind of low mileage for an Evo, I would say. It's around 80,000 miles total. It actually has like I said, it has an Evo 9 interior. It also has a painted pillars. The roof or trim up here has been all painted, which is kind of cool. I mean, when I bought this car, that was kind of like a motivating factor, because I just love like kind of the way that looks, and I know the effort that goes into that. But this is, in my opinion, this is just like one of the nicer Evo 8s that you can find. So I used to have an Evo 9 that made almost 1,000 wheel. It was a sequential car, but it was kind of a crappy car. Like it was kind of rusty. It was half gutted, and I sold that car and bought this because I just wanted a nice Evo. Like I just wanted, I was kind of getting out of the whole street racing thing. Like I still like to like rip my car and go fast and give ride-alongs, but like I just wanted a nice car to drive, a nice Evo to drive, and that was kind of the motivating factor to buy this car. It is also on an M-tron standalone, which is kind of a theme in my life. It is on drive-by-wire. It uses I think it actually uses a Bosch throttle body with a Evo 10 pedal. The wheels are Volk CE28s. It's kind of dirty right now. Like I said, this car hasn't really been out in a while. It does have a upgraded Shep transmission. It's got their ultimate ratio transmission, which I think it's like an Evo 9 first gear and Evo 8 second through fourth gear or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I had my 9, and it had a 70-76 front mount.
Yeah.
But it was Evo 9 MR.
Mm-hmm.
So
6-speed.
6-speed.
Yep. This is actually a 5-speed. It has the MR interior, but it has the 5-speed transmission.
So I worked at APR at the time when I had it, which is sort of funny because Volkswagen, Audi, Porsche.
Yeah.
I think 3 of the 4 engine calibrators, whenever I was there, were all big Evo guys,
Okay.
like big Evo tuning
Yeah.
guys. So I was fortunate in that because we threw it on the hub dyno, and I had 2 really good Evo
Yeah.
tuners work
Yeah.
on it. But with that 6-speed, we had to keep the torque down.
Right. And you're just kind of ramping in or something.
If I can find it, I'll put the dyno graph like here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we kept it at 350 torque, but it made like 640 to the
Oh yeah.
horsepower.
Yeah.
Um,
But that was just like, eh.
oh yeah, no, it had nothing before like between like 3,000 and
Yeah.
4,000. It went from like, or I guess from like, yeah, right around 3,035. It went from like 200 to 400. And then from like on up, it went just straight up to around 600. So, but yeah, they wanted me to do a Shep 5-speed
Mm-hmm.
and E85 it because
Yeah.
they were like, this is a 850 to the wheel all day.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I had to sell that car. So I had a feeling I was going to be let go, and I sold the car for. You talked about how this one's low mileage. I think that car was in the 40,000
Oh wow.
miles. Like it was,
Yeah.
it had a built English Racing 2-liter,
Yeah.
forward facing 7076. Like it needed a transmission because because it's 6-speed. It's still,
Yeah.
everything was fine with
Yeah.
it. But yeah, I had a feeling that I was the odd man out with our new manager.
Mm.
And sure enough, about a month later, I got laid off. So
Yeah.
luckily I sold it, but man, I do miss that car. It was silver, good looking car, but try to get a little more.
So for mods, like I said, this car's on a AGT 5762 turbo. It uses an ETS, kind of like the stock placement V-band turbo kit. It has, I mean, it's pretty basic parts. You know, it's got like a RK titanium exhaust. The engine package has S3 cams. I believe it's still a stock crank 2-liter. Pretty, you know, normal stuff for in the Evo world. Like I said, Shep trans, has a Shep T case. I think the rear end is still stock. Now this being Evo 8, it does have the Evo 9 MyVec motor, so it does have MyVec. It actually has ACD as well, which Evo 8s typically didn't come with. Because whoever owned this car, I guess 2 owners ago, this car was actually a shell, and they had a wrecked Evo 9 that they just swapped everything into. So that's kind of where the interior came from. That's where the drive line came from. Car up a couple months ago. It was running fine. Like when it was tuned, it made, what did it make, like 480 wheel on a Mustang dyno at 28 psi. At that time, it was just a stock bottom end Evo 9 motor with the built head. It had a stock frame 57 mil turbo on it, and it was running fine. And I ended up getting a little greedy, and I turned it up a little bit more on the street, and it just, I guess the rod it was just too much for the stock rods. I actually can show you. I actually have the stock rod.
Oh yeah.
I have a whole Evo blown motor collection over here. You know, watch out for the oil. This car's leaking. Evo stuff. So right here's my Evo graveyard collection. So this is a 4B11 stock rod. So I had an Evo 10 for almost 10 years, and that was the first motor I blew up. I think that was in 2017. And this is a built 4B11 motor. So that same car, I ended up blowing up the built motor. I think this was probably 3 years ago. And then the red Evo 8, here is the stock, it's actually an Evo 9 motor, stock rod from it. So, I don't know. I mean, I have kind of bad luck with Evos, but I can't stay away from them.
I feel like that's just, it's been a while since I've been in the Evo world, but I feel like that was one of the things that like made me sell it when I did, because I had a feeling I was going to lose my job, which I did. But still, the payment wasn't that crazy because I got a really good deal on it. It was actually, whenever I started working at APR, my boss, I saw it in the parking lot. The first day I showed up, I asked him, whose Evo 9 is that? Because I was actually, I don't know, I can't remember his name. I moved to Alabama, and right before we moved, I was trying to buy an Evo 9, actually right behind Toyota. Over
Okay.
there. I can't remember who had that car, but it was like was it FP green?
Yeah.
That was on it, I believe, and I tried to buy it, and the guy that had it ended up selling it to the guy he bought it from. So I was like, well, I was out of luck. Skip ahead like a year, I'm starting to work at APR. I'm living in Alabama, Auburn, Alabama. And the first day I show up, ask the boss whose Evo 9 is at in the parking lot, and it was his. And he was like, you want to buy it? And I was like, well, actually, maybe. So it was a long project. It had been sitting at APR's second parking lot for a while. And, but it was, like I said, it was a 2-liter English Racing, fully built engine. And I was I have some buddies that are Evo guys, and just seeing the breakdown after breakdown, and it's just, I mean, you know, you got to pay to play, and
it's hard to just these cars just like feel like nothing else, and it's hard to stay away from them. I mean, I've had some friends that leave the Evo world because of this problem, but then a lot of them just come back.
I do miss mine.
Yeah.
So, and but in all that, luckily, I can't remember what cams that it had in it, but apparently the cams that were in the engine had a bad run. And I think the guy messaged me. I messaged the guy like 3 months later, just touching base, asking him how the car was doing, because I was missing it.
Yeah.
And he had the engine out of it because it had one of the cams had snapped in half.
Yeah.
And been been a bunch of rods.
That was a really big problem with Cosworth cams, I think.
I think it might have had Cosworth cams.
Yeah, that was a big problem with Cosworth back in the day. But I mean, I think once you kind of get these cars figured out, and you have really good tuning, you have a good ECU, you run good fuel, like they can last. But Evo things happen, you know. That's just part of it.
That'd be a good shirt. Evo things happen.
And like you can do everything that you're supposed to in the world, but I mean, at the end of the day, you're also, I mean, people that are, you know, building these cars are putting a lot of air through a 4-cylinder.
Yeah,
and
2 liters.
And you know, the engines were made for 4 cylinders. The drivetrain was all made for a 4-cylinder. Like,
how much power did you say this one made roughly?
So we haven't finished tuning yet. It's going to go to my tuner in a week or two, and then there's a couple of things that he needs to do to it, and then he's going to put on the dyno. Right now on the street, it's probably around 600 wheel, just kind of based on the fuel usage.
So a boosted 2 liter is 600 wheel. A boosted 6.2 liter V8 is 500 wheel.
Yeah. And this is probably like the 3rd fastest Evo I've had. It'll probably make closer to 7 once it gets turned up, because it's only on like high 20 pounds right now. This car to me is just kind of a cruiser car, because I mean, it's in really good shape. Like I'm not going to take this on back roads and rip it on Tell the Dragon and stuff. Or the 6, I kind of I don't care as much.
Did you take the 6 on, what was the Evo Day?
Yeah, Evo Day, yeah, Tell the Dragon.
Day, yeah.
It was raining, but it was still a blast.
All this JDM, and then
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, so you've not had this car super long.
Yeah, I picked this car up about a month ago. I mean, this is a 2007 911 turbo manual. This is the last generation of 911 turbo that came in manual. It's a 997.1. I've always wanted these cars. My dad actually had a black 996 911, and so it kind of goes back to the BMW that I was selling. The guy actually messaged me about wanting to trade this car for my BMW, and his terms just weren't that great. Like, again, I was gonna have to give him a bunch of money too, but like his terms were just not that great. But I just kept looking at the car, and it was kind of one of those cars that I wanted to buy someday, and I ended up just buying the car outright. I got this car down in Florida. I actually flew down to Florida and drove it all the way home. I think it was probably about a 13-hour drive total. It was in the Tampa area. It does have a lot of miles, so it actually has 150,000 miles. Doesn't really look like it. Like, the body is in great shape. It does have a really great maintenance record, so it has a lot of the kind of crap that's wrong with these cars done to it. So I mean, if you're familiar with these cars, you know that like they have the cam problem. So the cam sleeves like to rotate so that the cams have been pinned on this car. The coolant hoses have been welded, or however that works. So it's got a lot of the crap that breaks on these cars already done. So like, to me, like, I was kind of okay with the mileage just because of that. Car is pretty much stock. It has a aftermarket exhaust. I'm not sure who makes it. I tried to look them up and I couldn't find much information out there. And then it's on some coilovers. I'm not 100% sure the brand of them, but it's still on a stock tune. It's a pretty sweet car. Like, it's pretty rad. I'm not a huge fan of the BBS wheels though, so I'll probably end up changing those at some point. To me, I'm kind of just like a silver wheel on a black car kind of guy, but I don't know. They're cool. They're kind of growing on me a little bit.
Like I said, my Evo 9 had gold wheels. I love gold wheels.
Yeah.
So I think it looks,
Yeah.
I like them, but
I like them on like with a black car. I just love the silver wheel look, like the classy. Like, if they were silver, I'd probably keep them. So I've been actually talking to a shop in the Covington area about kind of doing full bolt-ons on this car and tuning it. So that's probably something that's going to happen in the next couple months. They seem to pick up a lot of power. I think these cars make like just under 500 stock. I'm pretty sure, somewhere around there. And then once you do like a full bolt-ons, and even if you leave it on 93, you can make around 600. So that's probably something that's going to happen in the next couple months. I'm just kind of spoiled with horsepower, and like I don't want to say it's slow, but I've had a lot of fast cars, and I just need, I don't know, I need something more.
yeah.
I do love the way this car...
Need something more than a turbo 911 power, yeah.
Like I said, I've been kind of spoiled, but with my Evos. I do love the way this car drives though. Like, it's a 911. Like, it drives awesome. It shifts awesome. The steering is awesome. It actually kind of makes me want to maybe get a GT3 because of how good the turbo steering is. I feel like a GT3 would be next level. But I'm gonna enjoy this for now. Probably for a while.
So, all-wheel drive, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So I drove a GT3 RS.
Okay.
There used to be a Appalachian driving experience.
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, one year for my birthday, my wife took me down and we did like a 50-mile,
Yeah.
in a GT3 RS. And yeah, that thing was...
What generation
sweet.
was it?
Or
year or anything?
I think it was the 991.
Okay, so like right after the 997 then?
.1.
I'm still kind of learning the Porsche world. Like,
Same.
I've had some German cars. I've had a couple BMWs, but this is my first Porsche.
The GT3 RS I drove, it was a crazy experience because I thought, the guy's going out in front of me and he was in the Porsche Taycan, or however you pronounce that, the electric car.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, he's going to get in front of me. We're going to do the speed limit because the guy's talking about, out here on the highway, the speed limit's 55. If you do 60, you're going to get pulled over. I was like, oh, great. We're going to go back roads and do 35 the whole way.
Yeah.
And then I started talking to the guy that was driving the car in front of me. And he was like, all right, yeah, well, whenever we get out there, I'm just going to leave you. And I'm going to see how fast you want to go. I'm going to just see what your pace looks like. And he was like, just don't ride super close to me for rock chips. He's like, but just follow my line. He was like, if the turn says 55, he said, we'll probably do about 85 or 95. Oh. He said, this car's going to do it. It's just going to go. Like, it's going to go.
Yeah.
He's like, so just watch my braking points. Brake the same amount as me, same time, where I'm braking. And he wasn't joking. All right, you want to pop the hood?
The...
I'm kidding.
Let's see. I was like, I don't know how to pop the frunk. Yeah, it's pretty stock. There ain't really much going on.
Can't really see much on these, but
yeah, I mean, I really do like to work on my own cars too. But like with this, like I was just like, I'm thinking I'm gonna.
Porsche makes that hard, doesn't?
Yeah. Right on. But yeah, like I said, I was talking to a shop about kind of doing like a full bolt-on package on this car, and they gave me like a really good estimate. Like I was surprised. I guess these cars aren't too bad to work on when you know what to do. A lot of them just take kind of the bumper off, and then they have a lot of access to everything.
Yeah. All right, guys, there you have it. An awesome car collection here in Central Kentucky. I really want to thank Michael for having me out here, showing me his car. All right, so I'm pretty sure my camera died on me while I was still filming the outro to this video. So I do want to thank Michael for letting me come over and check out his sweet collection. I mean, Evo 6, Evo 8, R33 GTR. I mean, I think that's the first, well, that's the first Evo 6 and the first R33 that I've seen in person. So that was really cool. As well as we got to take a ride in the Evo 6 and the R33, which was, well, that was an experience. I've never been in a right-hand drive car as a passenger. Well, I've not been in a right-hand car drive before at all, like I mentioned in the video earlier. But yeah, it was pretty wild to be sitting where you would normally be sitting while driving, but not driving, not having a steering wheel in front of you, and especially passing other cars, you know, meeting traffic coming the other way. But again, I want to thank Michael for letting me come out and check that out. I hope you all like the video. Drop a comment below to let me know if you do like this style of video so we can do more of them. There are some more car collections in the area, some pretty big ones. I don't know how accessible those would be, but drop a comment below if you want to see me try. If you want to see me try to potentially do some videos of these bigger car collections around here. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you later, YouTube. Bye.
Well, bye.